Welcome, Bladers, to another Axlemcchicken viewer tournament. It's the first one in about a year, once again. This is becoming kind of an annual thing. I didn't mean for that to be the case, but here is the bracket. It's been randomly assigned this time. We are in limited format today, which bans a lot of this stuff from Metal Fury onward, so that's what you'll see today. In the past, I would seed the bracket myself and then make the bracket that way, but that just seemed like it opened up room for a collusion, so it's random this time. But funnily enough, we have the 16 seed versus the 1 seed, which is always what happens, but this time it's Storm Capricorn with the 1 seed. So this is Drinks Mayo and a few others who requested Storm Capricorn, just stock, and then Toyota Camry who wanted Gravity Perseus on H145 R2F. So we'll go left Gravity for the first round, but that might change. Let it rip, go Capricorn, oh, ah. All right, so Gravity takes round 1 with a KO. Round 2, 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. And oh, Capricorn, no. Unfortunately, placing yourself in the air does make it very easy to KO you, so Storm Capricorn will go down. We'll run this one more time because Capricorn is the fan favorite. Let it rip. Capricorn. Oh, this is the way better battle than the one we got. Preston. Hey, buddy. Okay, well, Gravity is still spinning. Next up, we have Soligger, who wanted the Swift Special, which is Bakushin Leon 90 Metal Flat, versus Spectre Bad Guy, who actually entered this on the YouTube video from last year, but I had to enter a few of those that fit within limited format. So they wanted Flame Striker SW145 WD. So we got a bit of a stamina battle. Can you trust the Beyblade TikToker to have a good stall launch is the real question. And Bakushin Leon gets the KO in the first game, so no stall necessary. We'll launch it first this time. Let it rip. And Flame Striker. Here's Leon again going for that KO. Bakushin Leon is meant to be a tornado staller, so it's trying to circle around the opponent for the whole game, max out its endurance by just not interacting. But there have been a decent amount of early game interactions in these first few games for it. As it finally makes contact with Flame Striker, excuse me, but can it outspin it? It's destabilizing it pretty effectively, hitting that SW spin track. And Bakushin Leon gets the KO and then gets the outspin. Truly a jack of all trades. We got the light on because it's getting a little dark out, but next we got Preston, who shares a name with my cat, and that is definitely not the only reason he got entered, with Ray Striker 105 RF and Sir Scooty, who wanted Spiral Aquario CH120 RF. So these battles are going to be very fast, kind of interesting. Let it rip. Oh, bad launch. Let it rip. Oh, you really don't see a lot of Ray attack these days. It's just a underappreciated attack wheel. Also outclassed. Spiral was actually like one of the most requested parts, period, in the comments for this video. So people are appreciating it for how broken it is, but Ray Striker takes game 2. Let it rip. Ah, let it rip. Aquario's winging big. And it's smacking Striker around, but it doesn't look like we're going to see a KO, although I don't want to speak too soon. They both have a pretty decent amount of recoil. And it's coming down to stamina here. Spiral, of course, the much heavier wheel, so it does have the advantage in the stamina department, but it's a bit taller, so it might fall off balance. Oh, and Spiral Aquario from Sir Scooty will be moving on. Next up, we got Crinkletoes, who wanted the Playground Legend Earth Kerbex on 230 WD, and then Gabe, who wanted Ronin Kraken or Dark Knight Kraken 100 RSF. So this will be an interesting one. I don't know. Oh, goodness. I was gonna say, I don't know how well that Dark Knight hits upwards, but evidently it does. In that first game where it had a little bit of a self KO off of Earth, and there it almost gets a KO. And there it is. Ronan Kraken hitting so high up for what it is at 105 height. That evens the score up at 1-1. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Double KO will be a draw. These two bays hit so hard. I thought this might come down to stamina. I see why Ronan needs to be banned. Actually, on the announcement from when it got banned, part of the reason was because it hits upward so well. And at 105 height, it is reaching 230 height, so that is crazy. All right, on to side B of the bracket, we got Magneto Isn't Broken, who wanted pre-hybrid Libra on 90 Eternal Defense Sharp, and a series of coordinates, 29x 2.1, who wanted stock Rock Leon. And unfortunately, Leon is being used by the Swift Special, but Leon 2 looks pretty cool. It's kind of more anime accurate. So, let it rip. Let it rip should be an interesting battle. I don't know if it'll come down to stamina because that rock wheel is pretty recoily, and that wide ball is clearly worn out enough that it's swinging. And here's Rock Leon closing in on the center, but Libra holding strong. And that rock wheel makes such a great cha-ching noise, but I don't think it's performing too well in this matchup against another formerly banned part. So Libra will go up 1-0. On to round 2. Let it rip. And Leon. I straight up gave it the sliding shoot this time, so that it could go for those early game KOs. And Rock lands some good hits. Leon. So Libra is just so heavy. Rock almost gets the KO, but just barely misses, so did it wear out Libra enough to potentially win the stamina game? And that is a quick 2-0 victory for Libra 90 EDS. Next up, we got some creative combos. We have Poison Phoenix, ED145 Rubber Sharp from Sapphire Umbra, another YouTube entry. And then we have Burn Tempo, TH170 EWD from Nicked Strix. In 230 mode for the matchup against the 145 opponent, I think that makes sense. But against Poison, I don't think it should matter too much. I mean, imagine this Poison combo in the Beyblade anime. We got the Phoenix motif, ED145 for the crazy swim move defense, and Rubber Sharp for the defense, so I can imagine this thing would have been a menace. And the Poison Metal Wheel in the anime, this thing would have been ruining kids' days. But in reality, the application of let it rip all these parts together doesn't work too well. And there is Burn Tempo, another easy 2-0 victory in this tournament. Next up, we got an interesting one. We have probably the best pure defense in the bracket with Howie Sean's Jade Nemesis, 100 RSF, and Desire, who wanted pre-hybrid Wolf 230 Coat Sharp because they thought it would be funny. So I truly don't know if Wolf will be able to outspin Jade here, because it might. I mean, CS has so much better stamina than RSF, and that Jade Fusion Wheel is kind of bad for everything, and it's making contact with just the spin track. Jade is bad for everything except defense at a low height, which is what it's set to do right now. And it might, but it does have a big weight advantage, so maybe it'll outspin Wolf, but Wolf is on 230. I really have no idea. And I think Jade has only made contact with 230 spin track. There we go, some metal contact. Wolf falling off balance. They're both inches away. Oh my god, I gotta check the replay on that. I'm calling that a draw. I watched it like 3 or 4 times, and I truly could not tell. I guess Jade's gonna go first this time. They'll just take turns. Let it rip, and Wolf. Jade is swinging this time. It's had enough of getting clowned on, and it gets the KO on Wolf just barely. I'll check the replay to make sure. And if it sounded like Wolf was coming loose that battle, it's because it was. So I'll get it tightened before this next one. And that was a KO, by the way. It's 1-0 Jade favor. Let it rip. Go, Wolf. All right, this one looking more similar to game 1 already. Jade deciding to spend some time in the middle instead of swinging aggressively, which worked out last time. This matchup is so cursed. And Wolf, gosh, it looks like it's slowing down a little bit more than Jade here. I think Jade took something personal those first few rounds because this one is looking a lot less close, but maybe I spoke too soon. Jade is slowing down a lot. No, it holds strong. So Howie Sean will be moving on in the most exciting match of the day. Base Spirit Award might just go to Wolf though. So we went from a match that's probably never happened before in Limited to a match that's probably happened 1,000 times. We got Randy the Engineer, who wanted Lightning El Drago 105 RF, and Blayblay, who wanted Earth Aquario Bearing Drive. And I'm gonna replace the RF with a more fresh one. Aquario, and Lightning El Drago. Making some big hits, but unfortunately, Aquario gets the benefit of the wall save there, making the score 1-0. 3, 2, 1. Let it live. Go, El Drago. Oh, and there's the quick KO in game 2. So it all comes down to this. Game 3. 3, 2, 1. Let it live. Go, El Drago. Oh, and it's Aquario again with a little chin check, saying, El Drago, get out of here. So winning the type disadvantage impressively. And we are back to side A for quarterfinals. So we'll bring it back around to Toyota Camry and the Gravity Perseus H145 R2F and Soligger with the Swift Special. So I think this Bakushin combo is going to have a pretty decent anti-attack, but Gravity does have the H145 spin track, and Bakushin just wears it like it's nothing. I am impressed. All right, round 2, 3, 2, 1. Let it. Oh, and there's the H145 spin track. I think getting it done for Gravity that game. These games are high octane. Let it. Gravity. Huge hits. Bakushin in control though. And it was able to survive Gravity's early massive attack. And that H145 is gonna kill Gravity's chances of a life after death battle in the Swift Special from Soligger. Moving on. And that brings us to our next matchup. We got Sir Scooty with Screw Aquario, Change 120 Rubber Flats, and Gabe with Ronin Kraken 100 RSF. So this might be a tough roll for the Spiral Aquario combo. Let it rip, because this Ronin combo seems to have, or it seems like it would have pretty solid defensive attributes with that rubber flat tip. And there it gets the wall save. It looks like this battle is going to come down to spin steel. That Ronin left wheel, that Ronin crystal wheel is left spin. So who will win the spin steel battle? Ronin still hasn't quite gotten up to balance yet, but I spoke too soon. There it is. And Spiral Aquario, that rubber flat tip, coming in clutch for life after death purposes. Let it rip. Game 2, Aquario with the 1-game lead, and delivering powerful hits here in game 3, but Ronin Kraken does have great defense, it seems like. But the life after death, as we learned last game, isn't fantastic. Here it comes, and yeah, Spiral Aquario with like solid wins, an opposite spin, which I did not expect, as our next semifinalist. On to side B quarterfinals, we have Magneto Isn't Broken with Libra 90 EDS, and Burn Tempo from Night Strix TH170 EWD. So I'll try it at different heights. I really don't even know what heights this phase is going to be strong at. 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. And Libra So the pure stamina matchup, but these two are swinging. Libra using that EDS for its somewhat offensive moments when it catches that flat side. We got a lot of metal on metal here. I don't know if that's going to be good for burn tempo in the long run, or just ever at all. And here's Libra with the destabilization, and it's going to come down to the very end. Libra able to outspin burn tempo, so let's try out 230 height. Give it the old switch, and we'll see if that helps in this matchup. 3, 2, 1, let it rip, and burn tempo. Now we got that plastic on metal contact, which should put burn tempo at a bit more of an advantage. This grating might be the worst sound I've ever heard. But it was to the benefit of burn tempo, who is, after losing the first game, has a solid handle on this one, so it will definitely keep it in that 230 height. If Libra had a height change, we would do it, but it is stuck at this 90 height. Let it rip. And this one, these bays are moving a lot more than in game one, but burn tempo definitely spinning faster. Yeah, as long as I could come back to balance, which it can, should be able to take game 3. So a close one for both of these bays, but burn tempo will be moving on. And after fighting for its life in game 1, Haoishan's Jade Nemesis 100 RSF is back for the much worse matchup compared to Wolf on 230. We have Earth Aquario bearing drive from Blayblay. Let it rip. So I'm going to be going aggressive with Jade here, because I think its only hope is to KO Earth in this matchup. And that Jade fusion move, not super strong attack properties, but it can't really hope to do anything else against Earth on BD. Earth does lack some defense, and hey, it's gotten destabilized by Jade here. But Earth Aquario takes game 1 on to game 2 here. 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. And Jade, can it attack? Dang, I got it swinging way too wide. It's just so good at only one thing. If it runs into any of these other matchups, just gets messed up. Like even against Wolf 230 R or 230 CS, it almost lost. Yeah, explicitly good at one thing. And apparently it's good at destabilizing Earth. I think I spoke way too soon. What? Alright. That's crazy. I think I'm just bad at Beyblade. That's my only, I guess I gotta launch Jade first now. Let it rip. Jade is swinging. It's gotten so much disrespect from me on commentary. It has something to prove. Jade overcoming. You know, I thought Earth was impressive for overcoming the lightning disadvantage. Jade outspins Earth and then KOs it. This bracket has truly seen it all. Here is where we are up to semifinals. So these games will be 3 of 5. The first round of semifinals is between Soligger with Bakushin Leon 90 metal flat and Sir Scooty with Spiral Aquario Change 120 rubber flat. So Spiral has not had the opportunity to use anything other than that 120 height today, because it just has been against short opponents. And these two have yet to make contact in this fast-paced battle. How is it so fast-paced and yet so slow? They're camping. They've made contact one time. And maybe it can use the weight advantage to push Leon out. but I don't see that happening. And that was a mobile stall from Bakush on the own. So this basically really do it all. Dodging by stalling. 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. Here's spiral. It was moving around way faster that time, but it got an unlucky hit there. Okay, I just filmed a whole segment about how Bakushin was our first grand finalist, but I forgot that it's 2 of 3, or that it's 3 of 5. Clearly I forgot. Let it rip. Game 3. Spiral Aquario living on the edge. And again, it's getting out sped by Bakushin, but it catches up to it and delivers the KO. Is this thing looking to make the reverse sweep in lieu of my premature announcement? 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. And go Aquario. Again, living on the edge. It's catching up to Leon. Bouncing off the walls. And that was some tactical gameplay by Aquario. It got this bounce and repositioned itself. We're in game 5 of semifinals. 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. Oh. All right, we've had a few missed launches here. Game 5, for real this time. Let it rip. And go Aquario. The Landlord Special coming out from a spiral. Knocks Bakushin into the wall, into my burst stadium, and leaves a mark. Come on, man, I'm not gonna get my deposit back. So Spiral Aquario becomes our first grand finalist with the reverse 3-0. Jade was able to overcome the worst matchup ever versus Earth in the last battle. This is Hawaii Sean with Jade Nemesis 100 RSF. Can it overcome another horrendous matchup against Knight Strix's Burn Tempo TH170 EWD? All right, so another stamina. Here, I'll put it at 230 just so it can dodge from Jade. Even though that's not very exciting. So Jade has already overcome one impossible matchup. Maybe you can do another one. It's actually making contact with the 230 height burn wheel. But I don't think that's going to be enough to outspin it. And I mean, we got some destabilization going on with that burn combo. EWD on 230 height is not always the best, so hey, that's a little bit of what we're seeing. Is it going to fall before Jade stops spinning? There's no way. That was Jade. All right, I don't even know if I should trust my own eyes here. I'm gonna put this back down to 170 because maybe that'll work better for it. I'm calling that a draw. I rewatched it a bunch of times. Let it rip. Go Jade. So I think lowering the burn combo down to 170 height should help it out and prevent it from processing too early, which kind of messed it up that last match when it started going whoa, 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 whoa. And here it is processing again, but not nearly as badly. And Jade is slowing down. Off balance. Again, so insanely close, but it's 1-0. Let it rip. The semifinals. It's so crazy. I looked down because my launcher got caught. Jade landed the KO. Sure enough, Jade got the KO. It was a little bit of a snipe, but it's also great cinema, so 1-1 in this insane semifinals. This time Jade opting for the stall. Jade's slowing down so much this time. This is what you expected to see in the first match. And again, why are these so close? Okay. It is now 2-1. Burn tempo favor on to game 3. Let it rip. Go Jade Nemesis. Go burn tempo. So Jade is trying its hardest to destabilize Burn. And Burn seems to be getting itself back into the driver's seat, but it's falling off balance. Why do I talk? And the third game where Tempo just barely wins in that fashion. Jade, with the heart of the wolf throughout this whole bracket, gets eliminated in semis. And we have our next grand finalist. And we're in grand finals. Coming in from side A is the Blade King of Brunei with Spiral Aquario, Change 120 RF, and finally a reason to change heights is Sir Scooty 86. And in the right corner, they have survived a gauntlet of stamina Beyblades, outspinning them all, and outspinning Jade Nemesis, is Nightstrix, oops, with Burn Tempo TH170 EWD, and I guess I'll put it pretty high so that it can avoid the attacks from Spiral. And we'll be in the 0G Stadium, and I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. All right, we'll be at best 3 of 5 for grand finals. Let it rip, Spiral. Landing all these big hits. Spiral was able to make the 3-0 comeback in its semi-final round against a pretty tough matchup. And all things considered, this matchup should be a bit easier for it, but it goes down in game 1 here. Burn Tempo up a game. And here's game 2. 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. Let it rip. Aquario trying to hit another landlord special here, going with these powerful KOs off the side. Sorry for the delay. 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. Game 3. So Burn is doing the old pendulum swing like Phantom Orion, and it's paying off here. Look at the crazy defense from it. So in a bracket with a bunch of upsets, are we gonna have another type disadvantage here, beat by Burn Tempo? Let it rip! No! Well, not necessarily. I mean, if you can survive one hit, you can survive the whole game. And this is it. It all comes down to game 5 between Sir Scooty and Nightstrix. 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. Aquario. And it gets the single hit KO again. So Spiral Aquario from Sir Scooty is the champion of this Axlemcchicken viewer tournament. So we'll take a look at the bracket it took to get there. In the first round, it beat Preston's Ray Unicorno, and then it took on Gabe's Ronin Kraken with Rubber Semi-Flat, a matchup I thought it would struggle in, but it clearly didn't. In semifinals, it took down in a reverse 3-0, a reverse sweep, Bakushin Leon, which was showing off its anti-attack capabilities, actually eliminating Gravity Destroyer on H145. And in potentially an easier matchup for Leon, Spiral Aquario came out on top, and in grand finals, it took on Burn Tempo, who eliminated, again, its potential worst matchup. So an incredible run for Spiral Aquario and a bracket full of the most shenanigans we've ever seen on here.